Stop scrolling, because what just happened in this hearing left an entire room frozen in silence. Not shouting, not chaos. Silence. 38 seconds where no one spoke, no one moved, and one of the most powerful law enforcement officials in the country didn't answer a simple question. And the reason? A recording. Stay with me, because this moment isn't just dramatic. It raises serious questions. During a House Judiciary Committee hearing, Ted Lieu did something no one expected. He didn't start with a long speech, he didn't show a stack of documents, he pressed play. And according to what was presented, the voice heard in that recording was identified as Kash Patel. Just 7 words. A statement allegedly tied to instructions from Donald Trump. Now pause for a second, because whether you believe the claim or not, this is where everything changes. When audio is introduced in a hearing, it shifts from opinion to something much more serious. Evidence, or at least alleged evidence. And what followed made the moment even more intense. The recording ended, and then came the silence. Not a few seconds. 38 full seconds. Cameras rolling, members of Congress watching. No response, no denial, nothing. Now think about that. In high-pressure situations, people react. They deny, explain, push back. But here, there was stillness. And that stillness became the story. But it gets deeper, so stay with me. Before playing the recording, Lieu carefully built the timeline. He referenced a specific date, January 31st, 2025, and a specific location, a secure conference room inside FBI headquarters. According to what he presented, access logs placed Patel in that room for nearly an hour. That level of detail matters, because it's not just about the words, it's about where and when they were allegedly said. Patel's responses leading up to the audio followed a familiar pattern. Not outright denial, but careful phrasing, limited confirmation, and strategic distance. Anyone familiar with hearings recognizes this approach. It's about saying just enough without committing to specifics. But once the recording was played, that strategy became harder to maintain. Now here's where the tension rises again. After the audio, Lieu asked a direct question. Is that your voice? A yes or no? Simple. But instead of answering, Patel declined to confirm. Not a denial, just a refusal. And that distinction is important. Because in moments like this, viewers don't just listen to what's said. They notice what isn't said. And then came the turning point. Lieu introduced a transcript, reportedly authenticated alongside the audio, detailing the same conversation. He connected it back to previous public statements Patel had made about the independence of the FBI, statements about no interference, no suppression, no political influence. And now, according to the claim being presented, there was a contradiction. That contrast created pressure, and you could feel it in the room. Now pause again, because this next moment is critical. Lieu asked the question everyone was waiting for. Was there instruction from the administration to suppress an investigation? This time, the response changed. Patel invoked the Fifth Amendment, the constitutional right not to answer a question that could be self-incriminating. That moment shifted everything, because invoking the Fifth is not an admission of guilt, but it does signal that answering could carry legal risk. And in a public hearing, that carries weight. Now think about how rare that is. The director of a major federal agency, under oath, choosing not to answer a direct question about potential interference. Whether you see it as legal caution or something else, it becomes a defining moment. And from that point forward, the hearing wasn't the same. Lieu didn't raise his voice. He didn't argue. He simply stated what had happened. An opportunity to deny, not taken. A question asked, not answered. And sometimes that calm delivery makes the message even stronger. Then came the next move. Requests for further action. Subpoenas for additional recordings, communications, and internal directives. Because in situations like this, one piece of evidence leads to another. And that's where the story moves beyond the hearing room. Now here's the bigger picture you need to think about. In moments like this, there are always 3 layers. What is claimed, what is proven, and what remains unanswered. This video focuses on the second and third, because unanswered questions are often what drive investigations forward, and whether or not these claims hold up over time depends on what comes next. Verification, legal review, and additional evidence. But one thing is certain. The moment itself is real. the silence, the refusal to answer, the invocation of constitutional rights. Those are not interpretations. They happened, and they leave an impression. So now the question comes to you. After everything you've heard, what matters more, the recording that was played or the response that followed? Because sometimes the most powerful part of any hearing isn't the argument, it's the moment when no answer comes at all. And in this case, that silence might be the loudest signal of all.